Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations, where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the Daily Office Lectionary. Today for Saturday, let's take a look at the lessons assigned from the first book of Kings. Now, we've gotten to the point where Solomon is now on the throne. He's been given this great gift of wisdom. That's what he's asked God for, was the wisdom to do all these things right. Problem is, he ends up being unfaithful in the sense that he takes on all these wives and concubines from foreign nations, and they bring in the gods of these foreign countries into the land of Israel, and so they profane the country. And so God has promised that there will always be an heir on the throne of David. Of course, Solomon is that heir, but things are about to happen when the kingdom is going to be divided. So first book of Kings, chapter 11, beginning at verse 26. And Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, an Ephraite of Zereda, Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zeruiah, a widow woman, even he lifted up his hand against the king. And this was the cause that he lifted up his hand against the king. Solomon built Millo and repaired the breaches of the city of David his father. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor, and Solomon, seeing the young man, that he was industrious, made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. And it came to pass at that time, when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, that the prophet Ahijah, the Silonite, found him in the way. And he had clad himself in a new garment, and they two were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him, and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, Take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, Behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. Howbeit I will not take the whole kingdom out of thy hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life for David my servant's sake, whom I chose, because he kept my commandments and my statutes. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand, and I will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. And unto his son will I give one tribe, that David my servant may have a light always before me in Jerusalem, the city that I have chosen to put my name there. And I will take thee, and thou shalt reign according to all thy soul desireth, and shall be king over Israel. And so we hear this prophet is giving this prediction that, in fact, the kingdom would be divided once Solomon's son takes the throne. He promised Solomon that he would continue as king, and God is faithful to that promise. But because Solomon had not been faithful in keeping the statutes and the law, the kingdom will be divided. So you'll have the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. And there'll be 2 separate kingdoms, 2 tribes, and 10 tribes. And the 2 tribes, of course, be the kingdom of Judah, being headquartered in Jerusalem, where the temple worship can happen. Now, you can read ahead in the book of Kings. Unfortunately, the 2 tribes, they stay faithful for a while, but the 2 tribes, the 10 tribes go apostate pretty darn quickly, and eventually the tribes of Judah also, the kingdom of Judah also goes apostate as well. And in first, the 10 tribes are removed from the promised land. They go into exile to Babylon, and then eventually the other 2 as well. But that's looking forward to the rest of Jeremiah and Isaiah and the other prophets talking about the causes of that. You can read ahead if you want to. So today's Saturday, no public worship today at St. John's, but we're getting ready for worship tomorrow at St. John's. Sunday, 7:30 morning prayer, 8 o'clock Holy Communion, 10 o'clock Holy Communion, and after the 10 o'clock service, a nice luncheon for homecoming, and then 5:30 evening prayer. So I do hope you'll join us. Join us for worship, and if not, you can watch it on the live stream. And may God grant you a Saturday that is full of blessings.